I have been so busy that I almost forgot that today is update day. Um, Apologize. It's dark out here. So, if you need a kick in the ass, get yourself some Cholula hot sauce, tequila, and lime. Oh, yeah, there's real tequila in here. 4.4% tequila by volume, 1.8% alcohol by volume. We getting litty in the itty bitty committee, dog. That's straight tequila. So good though. It's actually terrific. If you've never had it, I found it at the Dollar Tree. Not Dollar General, Dollar Tree. That's where the good stuff's at. Okay, on to business. The real update is we got knives. Real knives. With a homemade, I was gonna build something. I got all these magnets, Nidium magnets. I've always wanted one of those magnetic racks. But I had picked this rack up sitting on the curb, and it's been sitting here for a week and a half, and I haven't figured out anything to do with it except for today when I was going to do the magnets. I seen it sitting in the corner. Boom. I mean, it's quick draw. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Wash, throw in, let them sit there. These were all acquired in my special spot. I'm not gonna name names, but I mean, real good blades, real sharp, free. And I'll show you. This is what we were working with before. I thought these were pretty nice, but having to sheathe the little coloring crayons each time, they're so dull. I couldn't shave my legs with these. Okay. I gotta grab some more tequila pizza. I always decide to do an update when I'm eating. Okay. Say hi, Gary. Don't be rude. We have guests. Okay. Major update. I haven't had a phone until now. No service, no internet. A friend brought me this projector. It's Mag Cube from TikTok Shop. I won't link in the description because I'm not affiliated. I'm not getting paid. I'm just living my life, man. But it's super cool. That is a tripod I got at the Salvation Army from like a play school freaking telescope. Paid $3 for that thing. I did have it on the ceiling, but it just having to have your neck stiff and lay on your back watch a movie sucks. Feel like you're in a spaceship. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted for the stream. I was gonna paint a square because it's like that tan beige color. But I went to the thrift store and I was looking for white sheets. Oh man. So listen to this. I went to the thrift store where it's these nice old ladies that run it, and I walk in and I'm looking around, couldn't really find what I was looking for, so I asked the lady, and they're getting ready to close. It was late in the day. Wanted to watch a movie, I acquired DVD player, projector. Hey, how you like the new? This is actually gonna fit in. This is a reverse Adolf. This is gonna fit in with what I'm saying. Now it looks weird. I feel like I'm a turtle. So I go up to the lady and I ask her, I said, do you have any white sheets, a single white sheet by chance? I see you have sets, it's a little out of my budget. They wanted $14 for a set. I just need a white sheet. She's like, well, just buy the set. And I said, ma'am, I don't have the funds for your whole set. I would if I did, but I need a white sheet. And she's like, well, what are you gonna do? I was like, well, I only need the sheet because I'm going to try and watch a movie. She's like, well, when? It's like tonight, preferably. Everything's ready. She's like, well, I'll do you the big favor. She's like, I will pay for it. You take the sheet, watch your movie, and return it tomorrow. Like, ma'am. Her name was Judy, by the way. Judy was the sweetest lady. And, like, ma'am, I surely appreciate that. That is so kind. Like, for a stranger to offer to pay for this, for me to return. She's like, yeah, I'll buy it and I'll take the sheets. I could use them. I said, you might not want them after I'm done. She's like, well, why not? So, well, I'm going to use them for the projection screen, but I'm going to put holes in them. She's like, holes? And it didn't even dawn on me as I was having this conversation until I was walking home, okay? I was like, yeah, I got to hang it up, so I'm going to, put holes, tacks in it. She's like, okay, I guess. I said, so, never mind, I appreciate it. I don't want to give you back something you paid for with holes in it. So I'm walking home and I'm like, oh my God, that poor lady, out of the kindness of her heart, offered to, you know, let me use and gift me this sheet, white sheet, when this young punk was going to put holes in it. I'm telling you, it's a movie. I've only been talking for 2 minutes, almost three. It felt like 10 minutes. Time is standing still. I feel like I've been doing so much. I'm literally running around like a squirrel, gathering everything to. I mean, the last video I made the analogy of a bird, but now I'm boots on the ground, squirreling it, trying to gather my nuts. Um, no music has been created yet. I feel like I'm writing the story right now. It's been I can't sit still. I'm so anxious in this new spot that even trying to watch a movie on this badass projector feels odd. Um, but I need to share something with you because it was a prolific moment in my life this last week. Um, I've got a spot where I go and I find things, specifically the Goodwill. They throw everything in a dumpster, they don't lock it up, and I go there. I got those knives, I got cutting boards, bowls, Tupperware, things that I don't even have the money to buy, but I need. I've found, God provides, and what's the honest to God truth. I'm truly blessed to be in this situation, and you know, I don't think I've even fully felt it yet. I my letter of gratitude will come at a later date, I think, because I need to fully experience this. But, anyways, the Goodwill. Um, I met a girl. Um, in the most movie way possible, which is something I've dreamed of my whole life. In the day and age of social media and everything online dating, and it's so hard to meet people. For 2 years now, I've been in this state of negredo, the blackening, where my life felt disconnected. My frequency was cut off from the rest of the world. And most of that was on purpose. But lately, I feel like I'm stepping out. I've come out of that cocoon and coming into myself. Anyways, I'm getting excited. So I met this girl. She was at the spot where I usually go. And I walking up on her. Usually it's random people and they just run up like scavengers, crows and birds, and they just pick and run. Um, but she was on a mission. She was tactful with it, and so I approached her, and I kind of, trying not to be creepy, but I wanted to somehow start conversation, which I haven't had in a long time in person with a female. And I told her, I said, you know, you're on my territory, right? And I was just joking, maybe stupid or whatever. And she, kind of, she didn't really acknowledge it. It was probably really stupid, actually. But the one thing I remember is there was a massage cover for a car that you plug in. I was like, oh, this thing's like basically brand new. She's like, yeah, gently used. And my reply was, aren't we all? She kind of just gave me that look, like wanted to say something smart, and she kind of had a grin and made me feel good. But so, anyways, we weren't making friends or anything. She was doing her thing, I was doing mine, but there was a moment, and I hope she sees this because I know there was a moment that I looked up from what I was doing, sweaty, hot as freaking Dickinson out, and she's doing what she's doing, and in that moment it was like we were in the same frequency, and we made eye contact for probably a split second, but it felt like a lifetime. Um, and I tend to overanalyze things quite a bit, but this was real. This was, and I knew it in the moment, but I didn't feed it. I didn't fester on it. I let it roll. And then she went on her way, I went on my way, and um, I just going home. I remembered wishing I would have said something else, something more, made somewhat of an attempt to get to know her. And because it wasn't just about look, she's a good-looking girl, but the way she carried herself, the the quietness of her demeanor was, like I said, prolific. So, anyways, days passed. I had been in therapy, seeing my therapist, and I was telling her about my manic episode and hypersexualization and a woman I had over and how it didn't end very well, and I let the beast play, and how my true self wished I could meet someone organically, like what had happened with that girl. And I'd mentioned that in my therapy session. I said, I seen this girl doing the same thing I was doing, so obviously we enjoyed the same things, and I wish I could approach, but I lack that skill and that courage out of a fear of abandonment. Like I don't approach women, I don't initiate. I've always had women uh, come on to me. And I've only been in two major relationships with some hit or misses in between, and I usually don't have to put in too much work to initiate. Um, but I've spent my life wishing I was like most guys that can have that swag. Um, I only have it once you let me know that I'm doing a good job or that you're interested. Um, Hopefully you can hear me. This isn't too quiet. I'm talking soft. I'm trying not to sound too excited and erratic. I'm trying to ground myself. I'm still riding that pink cloud of mania. The crash is coming. I can feel it. There's going to be a long nap coming. Um, but where was I? So I had told my therapist about this encounter and how there wasn't much of it, but I wished that I could meet someone like that and um, organically grow a relationship from an encounter like that. No shit. That night, I went home after therapy. It was a long, other than that, I was talking about hypersexuality with a female therapist and, trying not to be a pig and a pervert with things I was saying and, you know, walking the line, but trying to be truthful, and it sucked. So I went home and I took a heavy nap, and I awoke. This was at 2. I got out. I awoke about 6:30, 7, and I felt the anxiety creeping. I had to get out. I had to move. And so I went out and I went to McDonald's to have Wi-Fi, and I uploaded a video. It was of me putting together a music video promo, which didn't turn out very well, but it's coming together. It's coming. You'll see it soon. I am music video is in the works. I just have to be able to get wet. Man, I need to fix that. I think. Um, I need rain for the rest of the music video. Indoor shots and B-rolls captured, but what I have in mind is going to take a storm, and hopefully it's a badass one. We had one. I should have captured it. I wasn't able to grab the lightning. It would have been so awesome. So, anyways, that night I'm at McDonald's. Uploaded the video. I'm like, you know what? Sick of sitting here. It's starting to get dark. And I get up to leave, and something told me, to go check out, see if there's anything. Maybe might find something cool that would brighten my night. I shit you not. Like, this is a real story. She's real. I'm not delusional. At least, I hope not, because no one else has actually seen her, now that I think about it. Whoa, that'd be weird. Let's hope that's not true. She's real in my mind. But so anyways, I'm walking up to this dumpster. The lid's already up, and as far as I know, it's just me. I'm just casually walking up. I get up to this thing, and this little fucking trash panda pokes her head up, stares at me. It literally fucking spooked me. I'm like, damn, like, what the fuck are you doing in there? Like, I instantly knew it was her, but she was in her work clothes. She looked different, like, I only got a brief image of her the first time, but I knew it was her. I could feel her aura, she was back. And I don't have the words to describe how excited I was, like this, like I said, this little fucking trash raccoon, like, I found my hopefully soon to be girl in a dumpster. And that maybe sounds crazy, but you know what? It's too movie like the way it's rolling out. I can't wait to see what happens next, but yeah, stick around. It gets really good. This is a fucking modern day 2026 small town Minnesota love story, okay? And I'm fucking excited about this. So you sit down, shut up, and you will listen. So she peeks her head up, and she's in her work uniform. And I was so excited. I literally have been trying to think since that night what her work uniform said. I just remember the basic colors, and I can't for the life of me remember. I've been going kind of like Joe Goldberg, like towing that line of another You series. I'm a creep. I'm a fucking creep. I will find you. I'm an operations specialist. I'm good at this. You think you're good at detective work? Well, I've got files. Just kidding. But no, I just listen. Okay, hear me out. So I was just so excited that, I had found what I had been looking for. It was there. And she's at the bottom of this thing digging around. And we must have been there for, it had to have been close to 2 hours. And she's going through it and just getting after it. And she's like, all the good stuff's at the bottom. I'm like, man, I try to weasel my fucking tits over the top and grab what I can, and if it's any lower than that, then it's not meant to be within my reach, like, kind of lazy with it. and she's grabbing things and handing them to me, you know, like those knives. She pulled those out, like a whole set of these knives, like that I needed. Um, a bunch of other cool things, but here's where it gets even more prolific. Okay, um, you know, she's got a whole stack of things that she's gathering, and I offered, you know, it's getting dark, and you know, it's kind of a back alley, and I said, you know, do you want me to help load these things for you? You know, while you're getting the rest of it, I'll just throw it in for you. You know, like no, that doesn't mean that you have to give me a ride or anything comes from it. I'm just trying to be a gentleman. And she's like, nope, I got it. And like this girl is she, you can just tell she's a do it herself, get it done. I felt like I was looking at me. I mean, a female version. She felt like a mirror, you know, and I was seeing a part of myself that I've never seen from a POV, um, a real look at, you know, and this was a girl that I've spent 2 years wandering, feeling like a ghost. You know, slight interactions, you know, with a therapist, a psychiatrist, social workers, county workers, probation officers, cops, you know, it's all artificial. What does he say in Fight Club? Single serving friendships. Um, Single serving encounters, you know. They forget about you as soon as you leave. You forget about them. There's no connection. But this girl, like she saw me, you know, in this. We were connecting in um, this dive, in this dumpster. We were diving. It was magical. Like, man, we're at 18 minutes now. Whoa, this is gonna be a long video. Um, I'm gonna hurry up and tell you what happened. Okay, so we're leaving. I told her, she's like, you can go. I'm like, nah, nah. I know you can handle yourself, but it's dark out. I'm staying here. You don't even need to talk to me, but I'm standing here until you load all your things and you leave. You know, there's nothing more to it. It's just that's the guy in me saying, stick around, make sure she leaves peacefully. You know, and I was actually just trying to buy myself more time to think of something good to say. Nothing came. Um, so she was leaving, packing her stuff, and there was this large print oil painting. And I looked at it, I moved it to the side, but way too big for me. You know, I was on foot. I walk out there to be like a ninja strategic, but I wasn't gonna carry it. It was cool, but you know, I don't think I even said anything about it. I just thought to myself about it, moved it. But right before we were leaving, she's like, "Do you want this?" I'm like, "Yeah, actually." I was like, I don't really have any artwork except for Gary, and he's more of, you know, the bones of the place, but I don't have any artwork. So yeah, it'd be really cool. I mean, just wait till you see this thing. And she's like, "Well, if you want it, put it in my truck. I'll bring it for you." She's like, "Are you going straight home?" I'm like, "Yeah, I planned on it. I got nowhere else to go." She's like, "Okay, put it in. Let's go." And she's like, giving me orders. I'm like, "Okay, sure. You know, hell yeah." Just, and I'm literally like doing backflips inside, like not even sure what to do. Not even sure I wanted this painting. I mean, I did, but it it's prolific. That's gonna be the name of this vlog. Prolific. A love, a chance encounter so prolific. I don't know, something like that. Back is achy. Whew. Let's switch. Gary, what are you doing there? Always so ornery looking with your beady black eyes. Everybody knows you're that guy, Gary. We know. So, back to the story. This prolific oil canvas painting that's built onto some I mean, it's. Let's use the damn shock mount or the phone mount that I have for this purpose. You guys are gonna see. What's the view like over there? Yeah, right there. Okay, I'm gonna pull this thing out, and I don't like to do that very often, but I'm gonna pull it out for you. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do. But I mean, to give you a reference, she wanted to make sure that I took this. Yeah. Can you see that? She's a biggin'. I mean, oh, jeez. It needs a little love, but, I can't even, it's like arm's length. I can barely. But I mean, this thing's gonna go over the bed. But it's poppies. There's a writing, Renee, I believe that says. And then there's a tag. They had it listed for $30, but threw it out. I'm glad they did. At first, I'm like, damn, that's a big piece. That's a door I took to get a ride with this girl. She set this up, though. I know she did. Now that I've been thinking about it, she wanted to know where I was staying. Oh man, my undies are right here. Hopefully, you're not seeing that. I don't care. I'm human. Anyways, I'm getting long-winded. There'll be more in the future. This is what I like to call nocturnal bloom, which is what I've been going through, my nocturnal bloom. It's getting crazy, guys. I mean, is this a movie? It's starting to feel like a movie. I mean, without any, oversight, hence a director or anything else, no producing, no production, just raw, uncut, little old me. Is this real? This is fucking awesome. So anyway, she dropped me off. I dropped the ball. I didn't get her number. I asked for her name, which I misinterpreted in the moment, I guess. But I shook her hand and I said it was a pleasure meeting you tonight. Told her my name. She saw where I lived. She dropped me off. And I pulled this out, got out, and tapped on the top of her vehicle, and I said, "Till next time." Corny, stupid. I mean, I wish I used to be. I mean, back in high school, I was the man, homie. Now, what the fuck happened to you? I've been out of the game. I don't know how to woo. At least I don't think I do. I don't know. She didn't seem wooed. She drove away, and I severely considered chasing her down. I felt like I was letting a life raft float away. But I've said too much. Stay tuned. You're in for a treat. I think we're all gonna really start to enjoy this show. Is it a show? Nobody knows. But I'll leave you with that. Until then, stay safe. Do something positive. Get out there. Meet people. Talk to someone. Take a chance. Live your life. And as always, Godspeed.
The fuck did I just do? I had tequila sauce. Get the Cholula liquid courage. Oh, this is still recording. Cute.